Trump?
Yes.
If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
If it was today, I guess I'd still vote for Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
It is kind of a general question. It's really funny. I've just been listening to you guys' stream. You guys are having a really difficult time. So let's have like an actual conversation. First of all, I know you guys are really big on Kamala Harris. I had a lot of friends that were Democrats in the last election. I think if you guys would really steer away from people like Harris and maybe towards people that might actually stand a chance to win this election, like I get that you guys support Kamala Harris and you guys like her, but now that she's out of the picture, you guys can admit like she wasn't the greatest candidate, right?
Well, we can admit that we agree with progressives to a greater extent, like such as AOC, but that doesn't mean that we can't acknowledge that she was a better option
But what
within
about,
the
like-
context
what
of
about,
last election cycle. Plus, she has a very good high support level within the Democratic Party right now. Like it's similar to like Vance. Like they're the leading candidates within the context of the primary votes right now, right? In terms of polling.
Well, in terms of polling.
Yeah.
But don't you guys like, wouldn't you, but you guys personally might be happier maybe if there was like a stronger candidate.
Yeah. we
Yeah,
said,
yeah. Like, listen, like we're more of like progressive liberals, so I mean, we'd prefer somebody a little bit further.
Well,
on
who
the
would you
progressive
prefer?
left.
Who would you prefer?
Well, before we get there, what I wanted to add on here is that although I'd prefer a more progressive person on the left, I will say out of like the more establishment Dems, I think Harris is my favorite, honestly.
Really?
But yeah, I don't know. There's something about her that I really tend to enjoy that I don't see in many other establishment liberals. But a little on that more progressive left, I don't know. I would like to see somebody like Mamdani run for president. Of course, he can't, but somebody like him.
I was more of an Andrew Yang guy myself. I kind of liked Andrew Yang.
okay, so then why wouldn't you align more with Harris than Trump? Because that's definitely what Yang did.
Well, I mean, there's people that endorse their party. I don't think he would actually, I think that would be radically different.
Ooh.
Radically different.
Or like a Tallarico. I think that Tallarico could really kill it. Like I don't know, like I feel like Tallarico kind of gives like Andy Bashir vibes, but a little bit further to the left, and I like that because there's a lot of purple approval there. I mean, it's somebody that the right can hop on board with, and guess what? He hasn't taken any money from PACs. He's staunch advocates against class issues that exist in America. That's something that we need more of. Hopefully, we end up seeing somebody like that run.
I think it's healthy to have a Republican in for a while, a Democrat in for a while. I voted for Democrats. I voted for Republicans. I just don't know. I think watching the Democrats, watching you guys just kind of die on these hills over and over again, it's kind of sad because
What
it's
hills?
like, well, just you guys we're gonna go forward and we're gonna be talking Kamala Harris again.
I think that you're just being dishonest.
Why?
Because I explained why. Did my explanation not make sense?
Well, but you guys really think like historically?
We're trying to get people to say in retrospect, I made the wrong decision. So carrying over to the next election cycle, I'm going to think differently. Or also, I want to vote for Democrats to provide more checks and balances. I want to provide more. I want to vote for Democrats in the midterm so that there are more checks and
voting
balances
for
against
Democrats
people
would
like
be fine.
Trump.
You guys run Kamala Harris again, you're gonna lose.
I think Kamala Harris would beat JD Vance.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I do think that she would. I already told you I would agree with the progressive to a greater extent, but I do think that she would beat JD Vance.
I think you guys really need to jump off this Kamala Harris train and try to get onto something else.
I think that you're just like purposefully not acknowledging what I'm saying.
No, I'm acknowledging it. I just think it's failed before. I think Democrats really need to get off like this way that they've been trying to handle.
Did you
these
not hear me?
things.
I would prefer a progressive. How many more times do I need to say this? But I'm saying that Kamala Harris is better than the Republican candidate. That's all I'm saying.
Well, right now there isn't a Republican candidate.
I'm talking about like if we were to say Trump, Vance,
Okay, so
Rubio,
I know
Trump
you guys
Jr.
are really big in hypotheticals. So we'll talk hypothetically.
Of fucking course, that's what we're talking about.
Okay, but hey, keep going down the road you guys are going. It'll be great when you
You're
guys
not
lose
criticizing
again.
any of my perspectives. You're not criticizing anyone's perspective. You're just
Why do I
saying
have to
Kamala
I'm
Harris
not
bad. That's all you're
criticizing-
saying right
I'm
now.
not
actually.
criticizing anything. Why do I have to criticize you?
We're in a debate. You criticize each other's view in a
Okay, a
debate.
debate does not mean criticism.
What are you talking
You don't
about?
have to
In a
criticize
debate, you
each other. to have
criticize
a
each
debate.
other's
You
view.
can have a debate without criticizing people.
Yes, you cannot. Wait.
Well, you guys can.
Can you tell me what a debate is?
People can have opposing views. We don't have to criticize each other.
Yeah, criticize each other's view.
That's fine. I mean,
That's
listen,
what you do in a
guys
debate.
TikTok
When you
debates.
run an argument, you're criticizing
Hey,
the other person's
That's fine.
perspective.
You guys do TikTok debates, and that's what you think debates are, and that's cool. You guys, what's going to be really great is when you and Parker grow up,
I am
and
programmed.
actually get into the world? Well, when you and Dean grow up?
What year will I be grown up? What age?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea. What are you, like 22?
No, what age will I be grown up?
Oh, like just people can be. I mean, the age doesn't matter when you guys like actually maturely grow up.
Okay, so how do I lack maturity?
Oh, just your basic overall personality.
Like, what about me?
Oh, just the way you guys think, the way you guys talk, the way you
What
guys
about the way that I
debate.
think and talk means that I'm immature?
What about the way that you guys talk?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you guys don't debate. You try to go for you try to win an argument. You don't debate.
That's what a debate is.
Well, that's what you guys think a debate is. People actually like to carry through actual ideas and things and have points, not try to like slam dunk on someone. Like that's your guys' definition of what you think a debate is, but it's not what an actual debate is. You guys wouldn't actually win a real debate. This is why you go on TikTok in the first place.
So debate, can you define it?
Well, we know what a debate is.
Can you define
Can
it?
I define it?
Yeah.
Like I could say what I think a debate is. You're going to criticize anything that I say.
Just tell me, what is a debate?
Well, like me and you, when I came on here, I was like, hey, let's have a debate. We'll talk about who, Trump or Kamala, and we debate ourselves.
And you didn't do that. You just criticized. You just said comma bad the whole time. So can you tell me, what is a debate?
I didn't even say, I'm just saying, if you
just
guys
define
run
it.
Kamala
Can you just
again,
define
you're
it?
done
Can you
with
define it? Define debate. I'm just asking you to do that real quick.
I already told you what I thought a debate was.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You can't use the word debate within the definition of debate. So what is a debate?
When two people or when multiple people get together, have a conversation, opposing sides, and they make points.
That's what we're doing right now. So
Yeah.
what
So
we're doing
do you
objectively
want me
is
to
a
define it
debate.
again? Do I need
You're
to
just
define it
trying to
again?
act like it's not a debate to try to take away the relevancy of the debates we're engaging in. Now, can you give me an actual argument instead of just trying to like bring this like irrelevant criticism?
What I'm saying is, if you guys run Kamala again, you're going to lose.
Okay. Outside of that, can you give me like a policy of hers you disagree with?
I mean, first of all, we really don't even know a lot about Kamala. She didn't really give a lot of interviews. She didn't really talk about a lot of things. She talked very anti-Trump rhetoric, which is what people voted for.
Can
But,
you
like-
name a policy that you disagree with her on?
Oh, I didn't like her stance on a lot of things. I didn't like her stance on immigration. I don't like her stance on a lot
What
of social
policy?
issues.
What policy?
Their open border policy.
They did not have open border policy. Okay, she
Oh.
wanted to criminalize undocumented entry and wanted to make
Oh,
the
she
legal.
did?
She wanted to criminalize undocumented entry and make the legal process go quicker. And in the criminalization of undocumented entry, she wants to prioritize going after those that have committed violent and serious offenses over going after those that have just come to the country to work.
And why didn't they do that?
They did, right? They tried to do
Oh,
the
really?
bipartisan border bill, and Donald Trump called for people in Congress to undermine that very bill because he cared
Yeah,
more
no, that's
about
just a
running
talking
on the
point. You know
border
that
being an
that's not
issue
true.
than actually
You know
fixing
that
or
that's not
finding
true. They
solutions
didn't
for
need a bill.
conditions at the
They
border.
didn't need to do it.
Wow,
If
you're
they
cutting me
wanted to
off
do it,
instead of
they would've
listening
done
to
it.
my actual argument. Nice debate strategy.
Well, because everyone's already heard you guys' boring arguments.
Then why aren't you responding? So what's my argument? State back what my argument was.
They tried to pass a bill. Trump got in front of it. Blah, blah, blah. At the very end of the term, when they had all this time to do all this stuff, we get it.
That's true, though.
They didn't need
Donald
a bill
Trump
in
said
the
blame
first
it on me
place.
if
They
the
could
border
have
bill.
gone in.
Sir,
Biden could have
Trump
closed
said
it at any
blame
point.
it on me if
They
the
didn't
border bill
need-
fails.
No, they didn't need a bill in the first place. They could have closed
Trump
it.
said blame it on me if the border bill fails. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that.
He did say that. Do you want to bet?
Oh, fine.
How much do you want to bet? He did say that.
And what did Trump do the first day he got in office?
Wait, do you want to admit it? He said that. He said blame
I
it
don't
on me
care.
if the border
Fine.
bill
Maybe he
fails.
said, fine, blame me if the bill fails. They didn't need a bill
Okay.
in the first place. You're not understanding that.
So then to clarify, right, the bill that the Democrats were trying to get done was
they
going to
didn't
get
need-
passed. Donald Trump said blame it on me if the bill fails because he called people in Congress to undermine that very bill. So how can you say
You
they did
guys-
nothing when what they did was undermined by Trump so that he could run on the border being an issue?
You guys really think that they couldn't have done anything about the border if they didn't pass that one bill?
They also did an executive order inevitably, but that's not long term, and that removed the incentive to then actually literally
Okay,
engage
so they
in.
waited
Listen,
to the
the reason why
end
they
of
didn't want to do it through
term.
executive is because it can be shot down by the Supreme Court. It's not long term, and also in terms of the legislation, right? They wanted to provide or create an incentive so that there is Congress coming together to get unprecedented levels of immigration reform passed through the context of the law that hasn't happened in over 30 years. Okay,
True
so
that.
and that was going to happen, and Donald Trump undermined that. So all of those things I think were really relevant on behalf of the Democrats in office, and it was something that Republicans were working with them on, and Donald Trump undermined that. You cannot overlook that. So me just saying like, oh, I've heard this argument from you before, does not provide a dispute against my argument, does not serve as a critique against my argument. And for you to act like I'm the one that's immature and I'm not engaging in debates when you provided no actual legitimate intellectual criticism of my worldview here or of my perspective here, and simply you're just saying you don't like it because you've heard me say it before, shows the actual one that's immature is you and that you were just projecting. How am I this much younger than you and I'm still more mature than you? That's absurd.
I didn't tell you how old I was.
Sound older than me.
Oh, really?
Am I wrong?
You're probably what, like 42 to 55?
I really love that you guys
How old are you?
actually think
How old are you?
I'm in my late 30s.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you're still older than
Okay.
us. That's the point we made.
Okay, wow, yeah, I have a good opinion.
Wow,
Listen,
you're acting like such
you
a
guys
mature
really-
adult. So mature.
Yeah, okay. You guys really think that the Democrats wanted to fix the border but couldn't because of Trump?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's
Yes.
not what we think, it's what we know, right? So, I mean, this bipartisan border bill that Donald Trump torpedoed
Trump
included
had no
billions of
power.
dollars.
Trump had
Yes, he
no
did.
power.
Yes, he did.
Not when the Democrats were in office.
Yes, he did.
What power did Trump have when
Over the
Democrats were in
Republicans.
office?
Over
Good
the
question.
Republicans. So he can
Yeah, the
influence the
power-
Republicans because they
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because if they
The
go
power-
against Trump, he can argue like he did against Massey. Like he did the whole shebang with Massey where he literally like tries to oust him from the party. He literally threatens that with every single one of the
The
Republicans
whole
that they do what
border
he wants.
crisis is the Republicans' fault.
What's up?
Everything, the whole border crisis, everything that happened there. That
I actually do.
Most people now actually agree with.
Can I
the
tell
fact
you?
that they're
Can I tell you?
glad.
Let me
But
tell you,
they
I
don't
actually
think
do
it's
fault the
that.
Republicans more than the Democrats for the border crisis. The reason why is, well, first and foremost, all right, we have to consider what led to an incentive for immigration in the first place, all right, and that was the pandemic. It destroyed the socioeconomic standards of plenty of countries south of America. Now we need to evaluate the incentive for undocumented immigration over legal immigration. And I kind of place a lot of that blame on Trump because he was going news station to news station, social media to social media, saying that the borders were just wide on open and anybody and everybody could come right on through. So when you have the ex-president of the United States of America sending this message to the rest of the world that the borders are open, people are going to what? Flood the borders. And then when inevitably people did quote unquote flood the borders, the Biden-Harris administration started working with the Republicans in Congress and they were able to achieve a bipartisan border bill for the first time in modern American history. I mean, it's such a contentious issue. We got a bipartisan bill, like holy shit. And then Donald Trump turned around, told the Republicans to torpedo it because he wanted the issue to continue to exist so then he could run on fixing it. Yeah, I absolutely do place more blame on the Republicans than the Democrats.
Hello?
No, I'm still here. We'll see what happens in the next coming elections if you guys stay on this track.
Oh, wow, yeah, lack of a response.
Do you see how he provides no
Bad.
intellectual criticism and just repeats the same point he made earlier? This guy is
Well, I
such
mean,
a mature debater. Like, wow,
the
he's
reason-
really professional.
The reason why he didn't provide any intellectual criticism to the argument I gave is because he knows in the back of his head, even though we won't explicitly admit it, that I'm right. How can you criticize something that you don't disagree with?
Wow, are you just stunned silent, bro?
No, I'm still here.
Why are you just sitting here silent, dude? This is getting awkward.
Well, because we're not. You guys aren't. That's fine. You guys have your view on what you think Trump did.
And
that's
this is
fine.
a debate. Aren't you supposed to tell us why you disagree?
I already did. We're not going to come to a. We're not going to come to a consensus.
So apparently you
told
don't
me-
understand how to do a debate.
You never told me why you disagreed with my position that the Democrats hold less blame than the Republicans for the crisis.
I did. I said we didn't need a bill in the first place. If the Democrats really wanted to close the border, they would have done it.
Oh, I disagree with that. So we definitely do need a bill. We still do today. I understand that you want to say we don't need a bill because Donald Trump was able to reduce undocumented entry by like 95% without one. But
Oh,
the means that Donald Trump has used, to reduce undocumented entry so drastically hasn't even been EOs. Okay, it's just been scaring undocumented entry away by violating both the human, constitutional, natural rights of the undocumented immigrants who are already here. Like, yeah, when we are like
did
black
what-
bagging college students, okay? When we're black bagging college students in the middle of nowhere and then illegally pushing them to a nice detention center 1,000 miles away against the order from a judge, or when we're illegally deporting people no due process to be tortured literally, not metaphorically, in CCOT, when we're executing American citizens and then having the presidential administration defend it, and when we're pulling from the Mein Kampf, calling immigrants to poison the blood of our country and fear-mongering about the nature of who these people are, calling them all criminals and escapees from prisons, yeah, inevitably, people are going to be scared to come in. And I don't think that the means justify the end here, because I don't think anything could justify human rights abuse. I don't think anything can justify Donald Trump playing dictator, positioning himself above the Constitution to unconstitutionally reclassify citizens as undocumented immigrants to be deported, right? It's just a mess.
Yeah, and I've heard all these talking points, but he didn't need a bill to do it, did he?
No, he just needed human rights abuse.
Right, that's what we were talking about, though. I said you guys didn't need a bill. You said we needed a bill, and then you explained how we didn't need a bill.
Okay, but like you think that's a good alternative? We think that that's an alternative you wouldn't even put on the table of consideration.
Right. Yeah, it's like either you pass a bill or you abuse human rights and like elect a president who wants to terminate the Constitution.
Yeah, like I think that we'd rather engage in diplomatic negotiation amongst Democrats and Republicans that we were doing prior. We'd have significantly better work in Congress happening if it wasn't Donald Trump dividing our politics. If it wasn't Donald Trump trying to put a wedge between you and your fellow Americans to prevent you from loving thy neighbor. Right? I mean, like, dude, you understand that Donald Trump's undermined our ability to work together. It's not us.
You guys don't think Democrats use division, huh?
When have we used division like Trump?
When have the Democrats used division?
Give me
like
any
Trump?
examples. Yeah.
You guys use the same rhetoric. He's a right. That's not rhetoric. That's not
I'm
like
just
Trump.
curious. Can you show me one leader in the Democratic Party calling Trump a?
Yeah, give me one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Stunned.
Stunned.
Right.
Remember when Donald Trump called all Democrats? Remember when he called for the 6 sitting Democrats in Congress? Remember when he laughed and mocked the death of people like Rob Rayner and Mueller? Remember that?
Hey, Dean, actually, I know someone in government that has called Donald Trump Hitler. JD Vance.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. I know somebody else, too. RFK Jr.
Oh.
Oh.
What administration are they a part of? The Trump administration? Oh, okay. It doesn't seem like it's Democrats doing it. It seems like it's your own side, my guy.
Yeah, yikes.
Oh, so no Democrats are doing it?
Name one. Who can say where the road goes, where the day goes? He's got absolutely jack nothing. Are you embarrassed, bro?
No, I'm not embarrassed.
How?
How am I not embarrassed?
Yeah.
Because we're just having a debate.
And you just provided nothing.
I'm providing nothing because you guys clearly aren't looking for. Well, that's the other part about the debate is like you guys aren't looking to change your mind.
We are looking to change people's minds, right? And if
But
you happen to make an argument, we will consider it if it's reasonable. But you haven't made a reasonable argument yet. So, of course, from your perspective, it's going to seem like we're not willing to take into consideration your perspective. Well, because you've provided no reasonable argument. If you did, we would be able to take that into consideration.
So when Biden goes on TV and he says, Donald Trump said that there were fine people on both sides and he's a white supremacist, when that's not what Donald Trump said, and he still says it to this day, what is that?
Can you show me a clip of Biden calling Donald Trump a white supremacist?
Well, I could say that he talks about how he supports white supremacists.
Yeah, you think that he implied it. Well, I mean, I think it's fair to imply that Donald Trump supports white supremacy. I think that's fair. I think that's true.
Yeah. Would you disagree with that?
Oh, that Donald Trump supports white supremacy?
I think that we see that at multiple points throughout Donald Trump's life and at multiple points throughout his administration, for sure. I mean,
and continually.
He depicted the 2 most successful black people in the history of this country as apes, monkeys, on his True Social months ago, and he's authorizing ICE agents to use somebody's race as an identifying factor for an undocumented immigrant. And I mean, even just in his personal life, he was sued by the New York State Justice Department for refusing to rent to black people because they're black people in violation of the Civil Rights Act. That sounds like white supremacy to me. Oh, not to mention the whole voting rights, order from the Supreme Court a week or two ago. I mean, now that they do not have to consider race in drawing districts in states, we're seeing that even some of the states in America with the heaviest black populations are now having their predominantly black districts wiped off the map. So, I mean, now black people are kind of losing that voice electorately speaking. So, I mean, that's pretty bad.
So can we go back to my question about Biden?
I mean, you just said that Biden implied Trump's white supremacist. I say based.
Well, when I'm saying when Democrats use these talking points that they know aren't true.
Wait, what do you mean? It's literally true. Donald Trump is perpetuating that. Do you want to
And the
respond to
only
Dean's
person-
argument at all?
The only politician who continually uses talking points they know are false is Trump. How long has he been saying that he won 2024?
I mean, you guys really think Trump is the first president and the only president that says things that are false?
Oh, so when it's about Trump, every president does it.
No.
When
I'm
it's
just
about
saying.
Biden, he's
No.
the worst
I didn't say
thing.
every. I'm
Well, I
saying
mean,
you guys are saying.
he's definitely the first president in American history to deny the outcome of an election and try to rig it and steal it back.
No, he's not the first president in history to deny the
Can you
outcome of
name
an
one
election.
other president in history that's tried to do exactly what Trump did?
Yeah, and you didn't listen to the
Exactly
second
what
part of my
Trump did?
sentence.
No, I said other presidents have denied outcomes of elections.
Yeah, but
before.
have they tried to undermine the democracy by sending false slates of electors to electoral college to cast Trump votes when he didn't win to try to steal the election when there was no evidence indicating that they won?
Well, there was definitely false. There was definitely things being done on the Democratic side.
Okay, so you think the election in 2020 was rigged?
I didn't say I think it's rigged.
Okay, so then you agree that Donald Trump had no basis to say that at all.
Well, you see, I don't agree with both of those things. I don't think saying that he has no basis, and I don't think that it was completely rigged.
So if you have no evidence of it being rigged, that means you have no basis.
I think there's a lot of stuff that go on in elections all the time.
Yeah,
I don't
did
think
Donald Trump have evidence they rigged it? No, right? Meaning he had
Well,
no basis for that perspective. Because you need evidence as a basis for that perspective.
Yeah, I think there's people claim a lot of different things. The Democrats are trying to say that Russia interfered in the 2016 election.
They just investigated it, okay, and they determined that there was no collusion between Trump and Russia.
Right.
But there was collusion amongst
But they
members of
said
the Trump
that for how
administration
long? How long
and
did
Russia,
they say that there was?
and also there was specific interference on behalf of Russia in the election. That's true. That was proven. And
Yeah,
also,
and we have
then
proof
Donald
in the
Trump
2020 we have
said
proof
he
in
was
the
glad
2020
when
election
Robert
that the
Mueller
government
died.
worked with-
And then Donald Trump said that he was glad when Robert Mueller died, simply just because he investigated that.
Well, yeah, okay. So Trump's an asshole. We get that he was a jerk and he said something bad.
but like
about
liberals
someone.
should have lost their jobs if they made a joke about Charlie Kirk's death.
I didn't say that.
Okay, so you don't think that they should have lost their jobs?
I don't think anyone should have lost their jobs. No.
Okay, so do you think that a president should lose their job if they call for the deaths of their political opponent?
Call for the death or be happy that someone died. That's two different things.
No, if they
Look-
call
look
for the
at
deaths,
Trump.
like if they straight up repost someone saying HANG them, George Washington would you say that you would stop supporting him if he did that?
I wouldn't be happy that he did it. Would I completely stop supporting someone based on one thing that they did? Probably not.
Calling for the Democrats? No, you wouldn't. Okay, so can you name anything he could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
Guys, I told you in the very beginning that I voted for Democrats and I voted for Republicans.
Yeah, so
I,
could you tell
asked
me something that
specifically
he
who I
could
would vote
do?
for between Trump and Kamala. I said Trump.
How
And now I'm
about this?
trying
Is there
to tell you
something
guys,
that he could do that would get you to vote for Kamala Harris over him?
Oh boy.
Kamala
Hey,
Harris.
Parker, I'm gonna go ahead and start my own live stream. I can't really take much more of this guy. He's
I get you.
annoying.
Yeah,
I appreciate you, man. Have a good stream.
Yeah, I appreciate you for letting me up. Have a good one.
Of course.
Why is it always about what Trump would do and not what Kamala would do?
Because I'm asking you from your own side if there's anything that
Well,
you
I
could
would like
possibly
for
do that would
Kamala
get you to
to
vote
actually come
otherwise.
up with something to give me to vote for her for.
There are plenty of things I could tell you, like expansion of the child tax credit to $6,000 for the first year of a child's life, $3,600 to them being 5 years old, $3,000 to them being 18, $25,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers for new homes, $2,000 cap on pharmaceuticals
Oh
out
yeah,
of
even
pocket.
know that's not going to happen. These are all promises that would never have happened.
No, these are definitely things that could happen. All of those were
They
were
could
within
happen.
reach.
They wouldn't.
No,
Democrats
all of
promise-
those are things that would
Democrats
likely get
promise this
passed
shit
through.
all the time. and
All
they
of
never
those
do.
things are things that you could get Republican support on. Okay, those are things that would go bipartisan. Okay,
Yeah,
none of those things are completely out of the ability. If I wanted to bring up the most
Well, of
progressive
course,
things,
they're
I
on
could
the
have
ability. It
brought
doesn't
up
mean
like
it can happen.
the things that might not be able to be passed. But I brought up specifically things that would get passed very likely because of the fact that they have bipartisan support.
Yeah, you're naming a bunch of stuff that they say are going to happen and could possibly happen. They wouldn't happen. They haven't happened historically.
So again, that's because of the fact that you know that when a president runs on something, gets elected, it increases the likelihood that that will get voted on in Congress. Plus, she'll be able to argue for it from the position of the presidency, which, by the way, under the Democrats' administration, they were working with the other side, working together to be able to get things done. They would negotiate to get something done. That's what they were doing, and that's what they would continue to do. They had proven that they had done that in the past, and they were going to continue it. And you said, "Oh no, I don't believe that they're going to do it at all," even though they passed some of the most bipartisan legislation.
I don't believe that they would do it because they haven't done it historically.
What do you mean? They did do it historically. The Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, the Chips and Science Act, the PACT Act, the Inflation Reduction Act. the American Rescue, or not, sorry, I guess I can also say the American Rescue Plan, the Bipartisan Safe Risk Communities Act, the Violence Against Women Act. Those are all policies that they passed under their administration. Do you have a response to any of those points?
So if you don't have, if it's not Kamala Harris, and I know Dean said Mandami, you would want him to run for president. Who would be your second pick?
Well, I want AOC. AOC is the someone who might likely run.
And what do you like about AOC?
She's more progressive.
How's that?
Expanding access to healthcare, universal access to healthcare, expanding childcare programs to a universal childcare program, fighting climate change, distancing ourselves from horrible allies around the world that are destabilizing our relations all around the world, engaging us in military conflict all around the world, not to the benefit of our nation.
Oh, what about like Gavin Newsom or Pritzker? You like those guys?
I'd prefer them over Trump and prefer them over the Republicans, but I would prefer
think
the
you'd prefer
progressives
anyone
over them.
Would you prefer Vance over Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, I really hope Democrats can come around and get somebody that can actually win.
Okay, well, I gave you countless examples. Do you want to engage with any of those points?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, you have those points and you gave me those examples, and that's fine. It didn't work for her the first time. You had those same points then.
What do you mean didn't work the first time? You're just saying that we lost the last election, therefore you won't listen to anything that I'm saying?
No, I'm saying you have the same points that you would have made if I said Trump or Kamala beforehand. She's already lost. She's already lost on these points. So
who would you
who
vote
were the
for?
Democrats going
Who would
to
you rather
run?
vote for, Buttigieg or Vance?
I don't know. I would actually like to see that debate. It'd be fun. I like Buttigieg.
Okay, I genuinely, I will never understand these people. Like, what is the difference between Kamala Harris and Buttigieg? And Pete Buttigieg? Like, seriously, there's literally no distinction in terms of their ideological beliefs that would get you to then have such a different perspective on Kamala Harris that you do on Pete Buttigieg. It's nuts, dude. It's like actually nuts. Like, literally, to me, it's got to be like misogynoir. Like, there's no other explanation, right? Like, there's so many people that do this. It's ridiculous to me. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating.